I've been doing a lot of looking back lately. 'Tis the season. Not the what went wrong kind, but the how did that actually happen kind. And when I really sat with it, I realized something surprising. So many of the things that once felt out of reach actually happened. Dreams that used to feel impossible became normal life. And it wasn't because I finally worked harder, and it wasn't because I figured out the perfect strategy. It was identity. Somewhere along the way, the version of me living my life changed. And once that shifted, the doors that felt locked suddenly opened. And I want you to pause for a second and do the same thing. Think about your life 5 years ago, 3 years ago, even last year. There are prayers you are living inside of right now that maybe you don't even call miracles anymore. So what flipped the switch? That's what we're unpacking today. Because if you've been trying to reinvent yourself or letting go of an old identity without realizing how powerful that shift already is, this episode is going to help you name it. Not as a breakdown, not as a crisis, but as an identity detox. The quiet, sacred process that turns survival into success. And once you see it, you'll realize you've done this before, you just didn't know what to call it. Friend, transformation isn't a one-time moment. It's found even in those small, steady shifts that rewire your identity over time. If something in you is already cracking open, if you feel that, oh wow, this episode is speaking directly to me, then hit subscribe so we can keep doing this hard work together. Your healing deserves consistency, and subscribing is like a vote for the woman you are already becoming. Hey friend, welcome back to the podcast. Or if it's your first time, welcome. This is one of those pull your chair in closer kind of conversations. No rushing, no performing, no pretending we're not mid-becoming. Just honesty, warmth, and a little spiritual sass. You know what I mean? So wherever you are, whether it's driving, folding laundry, or sitting in silence, let this episode sit with you, because I believe this might explain why some of your dreams feel ready, but you are not feeling the Tiffany Haddish, she ready. Okay, so story time real quick. There was a time I realized something super uncomfortable. I had the vision, I had the healed dreams, and I even had the strategy. But my identity, she was still operating like we were in survival mode. And that's when it hit me. You can't reinvent yourself if the version of you running the show was built for emergency purposes only, okay? She was built for emergencies, not expansion. So if you've been searching, how do I reinvent myself, or letting go of who I used to be at 2:17 a.m. and secretly wondering why growth feels heavier than it should, friend, this episode is for you, because today we're not talking about identity like it's a crisis. We're talking about identity detoxing as a sacred practice. And once you see this, you won't be able to unsee it. So let me say this slowly, connecting heart to heart. The old version of you, she wasn't toxic, she wasn't weak, and she wasn't doing it wrong. She was doing what worked. She learned how to stay alert. She learned how to be needed, how to keep things moving so nothing fell apart. That identity kept you alive. But here's the part that nobody tells you when you're trying to reinvent yourself. What saved you once can sabotage you later. You don't burn the old identity. You bless her and let her rest. It's hard to move forward when you're still blaming yourself for what you didn't do right, what you didn't do enough of, or even what you think you should have done instead. The old you wasn't wrong. She was necessary. So no shame, no shade, and no judgment. Give her an extra dose of love because she often did what had to be done. So grant yourself some grace. And now, from that place of compassion, understanding, and love, recognize success requires a different operating system than survival. And friend, I get it because nobody prepares you for this part. Identity detoxing doesn't start with fireworks. It starts with awkward silence. You stop explaining yourself, reacting so fast, and even stop saying yes just to feel secure. And suddenly it feels like, who am I without all of that? But this isn't the collapse, it's the clearing. If you are letting go of who you used to be and it feels slow, strange, or lonely, you are not lost. Ooh, friend, this is when it gets good. You are being reintroduced to yourself. Somebody cue some Jay-Z. Okay, friend, let me paint this picture for you. Imagine sitting down at the end of your day, tea or your favorite drink in hand, soft music on, the world quiet. And instead of spiraling or replaying old moments, you open a journal that guides you into the most elevated, grounded, powerful version of you. The main character energy journal is not a diary. It's a transformation tool. Every page pulls you deeper into self-awareness, self-respect, self-trust, identity alignment, and emotional clarity. These journal prompts help you hear your intuition louder. It helps you see your patterns clearly and helps you shift your energy intentionally. And on the other side, you become the woman who no longer questions her worth because she's been sitting with it daily, pouring into it, strengthening it, returning to it. Imagine flipping through the pages months from now and realizing, I became her. I became the woman I was writing about. Friend, that's the magic waiting for you. So grab your journal prompts at the link in the show notes. Let's make it official and put your evolution in ink. Okay, friend, now here is where it gets real. Your mind might be ready for the new identity, but your nervous system, she's like, girl, who told you we was safe? And you're trying to pull her along. You're like, Alexa, cue Cardi B and play safe. So when you rest instead of hustle, receive instead of chase, pause instead of overperform. That's you choosing not to be in survival mode. And I get it, friend. You've gotten so used to functioning in chaos. It's hard to relax when it's calm. Or maybe you've just gotten so used to settling for crumbs that when you finally get a full course meal, you wonder why suddenly you don't have an appetite. Or maybe you just became accustomed to being the one who initiates everything, that when someone finally takes the lead, you start feeling some type of way and question if it's even genuine. So your body panics. That doesn't mean you're doing it wrong. It means you are doing something unfamiliar. Success can feel scarier than struggle when your body only knows survival. So be gentle. You are not becoming someone else. You are teaching your body that peace is allowed now. And can we normalize this part? You can want the new life and still miss the old version of you, the one who knew how to navigate chaos, the one people depended on, the one who felt needed all the time. Often when we talk about grief, it's because someone passed away. But what we don't talk about is the grief that comes from going from an independent woman to a wife or a mom. We don't talk about the person who goes from barely getting by to signing a contract worth millions of dollars, like so many athletes. We don't talk about what it means to have to leave behind friends because your journey requires evolution now. In all those scenarios, there was a version of you that was a vibe. But when it's time to move on, even when it's the very blessings you've been praying for. Not only does it require you to relocate, it requires you to shed a version of you that doesn't live in this next phase of life. Grief doesn't mean you are regressing. It means you're honest. Letting go of who you used to be doesn't require closure. It requires compassion. You can love who you are becoming and still miss who you had to be. You are not betraying your past. You are honoring it by not living there anymore. Friend, if you've been navigating life feeling a little disconnected from who you are meant to be, the main character checklist is your guide back to yourself. It brings you back to your standards, your values, your center, the parts of you that get lost when life gets loud. Download it now for free and let this be the daily reminder that you are allowed to take up space, honor your worth, and live like the main character you truly are. Okay, Queen. Next, let me invite you into a moment of self-love that meets you right where you are. Tender, evolving, and so very worthy. Let's get into today's self-love two-step because it's simple, everyone can do it, and it always gets the party started, okay? This one is the identity detox reset. Step 1, name the identity. I want you to ask yourself this gently, not like an interrogation, but like a check-in. Who did I have to be to survive? And who do I get to be now? Who did you have to become when things were uncertain? Who did you have to be when you couldn't rest, couldn't rely, or couldn't even slow down? And then without rushing, ask the second part. Who are you allowed to be now that the threat is gone, or at least quieter? Write it down. Not to solve it, not to improve it, just to tell the truth. Because naming the identity isn't about releasing it. It's about honoring the role it played. Step 2, practice one detox moment. Now, this is where it becomes embodied. This week, I want you to notice one moment, just one, where you usually default to the old version of you. Maybe it's over-explaining or saying yes too fast, or maybe it's just staying busy so you don't have to feel. And in that moment, choose one small interruption, one pause before you respond, one boundary that protects your energy, one breath that reminds your body, I'm safe now. That's it. Because identity doesn't just change through the grand declarations, it also rewires through quiet, consistent moments of choice. That's how the new version of you takes up residence, not loudly, but permanently. Just really quick, here's the part about identity that changed everything for me. Identity isn't who you are trying to become someday. It's who you already believe yourself to be. Even quietly, even subconsciously, because we don't desire things randomly. Your desires aren't just wishes. They are signals. They are evidence of recognition. You are drawn to certain lives, peace, certain rooms and responsibilities, not because you're lacking them, but because somewhere inside you, you already see yourself as the person who can hold them. Desire is the pull of identity, catching up to reality. That's why some dreams don't feel foreign. They feel familiar. Like, this makes sense for me, even if you don't know how yet. You are not reaching for something that doesn't belong to you. You are responding to an identity that already exists within you. And this is why identity work matters so much. Because when your identity says, I'm that kind of woman, your choices start lining up naturally. You stop forcing, proving, you even stop chasing. You begin recognizing. Ooh, you better recognize. Your desires aren't teasing you. They are calling you forward into the version of you that already knows how to live that life. Identity isn't about pretending. It's about granting yourself permission. And once you give yourself that, the life you want stops feeling like a reach and starts feeling like a return. You don't rise to the level of your vision. You live at the level of your identity. Ooh, friend, let that breathe for a second. Because vision is what you can imagine. Identity is what you'll allow yourself to normalize. You can see a bigger life. You can want more peace, more money, more love and ease. But if your identity is still saying, I have to struggle, you'll unconsciously pull yourself back to what feels familiar. That's why some dreams don't feel out of reach. They feel unsafe. Vision will take you as far as inspiration can carry you. Identity determines what you can sustain. That's why some people touch success and then self-sabotage. It's not because they don't want it. It's because their identity hadn't been upgraded to hold on to it yet. When your identity shifts, things stop feeling like luck. They stop feeling like miracles you have to outrun. They start feeling like your new normal. So if you're frustrated right now, it might be because you're dreaming too small. It might be because your identity hasn't been given permission to expand. You don't rise to the level of your vision. You live at the level of your identity. And once that changes, everything else follows. Ooh, now let me pour into you real quick. If this season feels tender, that makes sense. Your body resists change, not because it's wrong, but because it's unfamiliar. You are not breaking down. You are breaking patterns. And yes, some people won't recognize you anymore. That's not a loss. That's alignment. You don't owe the world the version of you that survived. You owe yourself the version of you that can finally live. Remember, you don't rise to the level of your vision. You live at the level of your identity. The new life requires a new way of being. This season isn't about doing more. It's about being different, making new choices that support the life you want to live. I can feel it, friend. Can you? Your new mantra is, I am becoming the version of me that can hold the life I prayed for. And when you look back at this season, you won't see luck. You'll see identity. Ooh, friend. If this episode felt like a mirror, a hug, or a holy nudge, make sure you subscribe so that you don't miss what's coming next. And if you feel led, please leave a 5-star review. It helps this message find the woman quietly Googling old identity at midnight, wondering if she's allowed to change. Trust me, you are. You are not losing yourself. You are shedding the version of you that had to be strong so the real you could be free. Until next time, main character, keep choosing the identity that can hold the life you are praying for. Remember, friend, around here, we don't settle, we shine. All because together we can encourage over everything.